All right, Joan Janis with the Spirit of Christmas. The Spirit of Christmas, Joan Janis.
You were this big. Did you believe in Santa Claus? You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. You mean that's all I have to do to stay on the good list? Stay off the naughty list? That's it? And just for doing that, a jolly old elf is going to fly from the North Pole in a red velvet suit with a big white beard, in his magical sleigh pulled by 8 tiny reindeer. And between those 9, they're gonna make all my dreams come true. Wow, talk about an entitlement program. That was what I could believe in. I was hardcore, I'm telling you. I wrote so many letters to the North Pole. I made list after list. I visited so many Santa Claus department stores. I sat on their laps. I told them over and over what I wanted. I had list after list after list. And on Christmas Eve, I was glued to the radio, listening to those reports from Lakehurst Naval Air Station that told us where Santa was, and the New Jersey Coast Guard. They were tracking him like an incoming missile. I was really into it. There we were. It was always Christmas. I was a true believer. I believed so much. Honestly, one time, I even heard Santa up on the roof. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? That was him. That was the bells on the reindeer's harnesses. Oh my God, we've got to get to bed. We've got to get to bed. He won't bring the presents unless we're in bed. We got to get in there. We got to have those sugar plums dancing in our heads. I didn't know what a sugar plum was, but I knew he wouldn't bring the presents until the coast was clear. As soon as everything got quiet, I tiptoed out of my room. First thing I checked was, did he drink the milk and eat the cookies I set out? Oh yeah, he was here, he was here! And then I rushed to the living room, and there, the spectacular tree. Remember those old pine trees? And the smell that came in the house, the magic with them, the lights, the ornaments, the tin foil tinsel. Remember all that? So magical. He was there. He'd been there. Everything I'd ever wanted was there. It was wonderful. It was magical. Do you remember that time? About 3rd grade, doubt began to creep into my relationship with Santa Claus. Rumors were going around. Somebody knew somebody that knew somebody that saw their dad putting the presents under the tree. And even more troubling, somebody's Uncle Vinny was working in New York, moonlighting as a Santa. I didn't know what moonlighting meant, but I thought it was something I needed to worry about. I began to have my own concerns closer to home, too. Even though they said things like, Christmas is just a way for the grown-ups to take their mind off the war. Or Christmas is just another consumer event to help the economy. But I had questions like this. Why were the packages that my parents exchanged among themselves in the same paper as the elves had wrapped my gifts in from the North Pole? That concerned me. Also, we didn't have a chimney. How exactly was he getting in our house? And furthermore, why in the world would he bring me socks and underwear and things I had not asked for? When you were this big, did you think Santa was a big fat fake? I did. I was sure that it was all over, but I still wanted to believe. It was devastating. And then it happened. Our town had a Christmas parade. It was a big event. All the adults would stand around with steaming cups of hot chocolate, and floats made by businesses and civic organizations would come down the street. The high school band would play Pa, and then people dressed as old-fashioned carolers would throw candies out to the children. And it all culminated in the final grand finale when Santa Claus himself would fly in on a seaplane and land on Lake Carousel before our very eyes. Oh, that was it. That was it. And we were on our way to the parade. I was 8 years old when Mom was driving. I happened to look over. Lo and behold, there was Santa Claus. There he was, in the liquor store, buying booze. But the radio had just said that Air Force pilots were escorting him and he was about to land in a half an hour. Ma, just so I said, he's in the liquor store. Joni, that's just some drunk having a private party, an impersonator. I wanted to believe it, but it was too late. I really knew. And when Santa emerged from his plane that year, wearing black plastic glasses that Santa would never wear, I knew. That was not really Santa from the North Pole. That was some bush pilot in a Santa suit. I was devastated. Devastated might have been an understatement. Do you remember when you found out? My last-ditch effort was I would go to my father. My father would tell me the truth. He would never lie to me. And so that night, I ambushed him as he was tucking me into bed. I unloaded on him all the dirt from the 3rd grade. I told him all my doubts, my fears, my concerns, and then I told him how I'd seen Santa in the liquor store. And I said, Daddy, I demand to know the truth. Is Santa for real or what? Joni, I'll tell you the truth. Santa is for real. He's as real as you and I. He lives in your heart. He's the spirit and symbol of Christmas. Love, generosity, peace on earth, goodwill to men. Not exactly what an 8-year-old wanted to hear. The truth is, the love and generosity that we all feel for each other is the true spirit of Christmas. And that is what lives in our hearts and will live in our hearts forever, the true spirit of Christmas.